how to make fresh guacamole. So to start, just a fun fact, guacamole was originated by the Aztecs in Mexico. What a shocker. So to make this fresh guacamole, you are going to need one ripe avocado. You'll know that it's ripe if you press on it. It should give just a little bit, not too much, not too little. If it doesn't give it all, it's not ripe enough. So just give it a little more time and it will be ripe. You're also going to need 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. These are the only two ingredients that are really necessary to make guacamole. Everything else is added for taste. So the measurements I give, you don't have to go by. It's just a suggestion for the taste that I like. So after those two necessary ingredients, you might not want a tablespoon of lemon juice. The lemon juice might sound weird, but it's just to keep the guacamole as fresh as possible. The acid in the lemon juice will stall the browning process of the guacamole to make it last a little longer. You're going to need about 1 tablespoon of a diced onion and 1 tablespoon of cilantro. You are also going to need 1 serrano chili. This is a really hot pepper, so if you don't like hot food, you might want a little less of it. You might just choose to avoid the pepper altogether. It's up to you. You're going to need just a dash of black pepper and about 1/2 of a chopped tomato. I use a little less than half because I'm not a big fan of tomato. So to start, you're going to cut the avocado in half. I go in a circle around the avocado, and it usually gives an even cut around it. Just be careful not to hurt yourself. So you're going to cut the avocado, and if you twist it a little bit, it should just come loose. So you have your 2 halves, and you have the pit. So you're going to take the pit out and just place it on the table. Now you're just gonna, you can just take a spoon, a fork, it doesn't matter, and go around the edge of the avocado and get out the inside. The inside's the only part you eat. So you can just scoop it out. Don't get the skin. Make sure also you should wash the avocado before, so that even though you don't use the outside of the avocado, when you cut it, the bacteria can still go into the inside. So you should wash it anyway, just to be on the safe side. Also wash your hands. So this one's empty, as you can see. Now you can use the other half and get everything out of the other half. It should be quite soft. You shouldn't be struggling that much to get all of the insides out. So this one is also now empty. After you have all your guacamole in the bowl, or not guacamole, but the avocado, you can just crush it with a fork. You still want some chunks in it. Honestly, you can use your hands as well. That's what I do sometimes. But you can crush it with a fork, leaving some chunks. You don't want it too smooth. It'll go bad faster, actually, if it is too thin of guacamole. So you just want to crush it. I'm going to use my hands. It's a lot easier than using a fork. So after you crush the avocados, you're going to add the salt because, as I said, it's the only other necessary ingredient that you need. So you're going to put about 1/4 of a teaspoon for every avocado that you have. You can obviously use more avocado. I'm just using 1 because it's just for myself. So you're going to add the salt. After you add the salt, you can add the lemon juice. So it is 1/2 of a tablespoon of lemon juice. As a substitute for the lemon juice, you can also use lime juice. I've always enjoyed lemon juice as a child, so I chose to use lemon juice. After the lemon juice, you can add the onion. So I'm just going to dice the onion. Again, you can add more or less onion depending on your taste. You can cut it as big or as small as you want it. I try to cut mine as small as possible because I'm not a fan of a lot of onion taste. After you cut the onion, you can add the cilantro. I have fresh cilantro on the stem still, so instead of cutting it, I'm just going to use kitchen scissors. Cilantro has a very distinguishing taste and smell, so I don't like to add too much cilantro, but it does give the guacamole a great flavor. So you can cut more or less, it's up to you. You should be able to smell the cilantro, otherwise it's not really as fresh. Because I only used one avocado, I'm not going to put that much in because I know it has a very strong flavoring to it if you put too much in. I'm also only cutting the leaves. I'm not going to cut the stem because the leaves are where most of the flavor comes from. Be careful not to cut yourself as you cut the cilantro. I'm just going to cut one more leaf. That would be enough cilantro for me. You can add more or less, depending on your preferences. After the cilantro, you can add a dash of your black pepper. Not a lot, I'm not even going to measure it. After the black pepper, you can add your serrano chili. So again, you can cut this as big or as small as you like. You can use as much as you want of it. I really like spicy foods, so I prefer to use almost a whole pepper. They almost look like jalapeno peppers. You can also just use normal green peppers, banana peppers, any kind of peppers that you want just for flavoring. You don't need to use this specific type of pepper, especially if you don't like spicy, or you can leave out the pepper altogether. It's up to you. I'm just going to cut them in a jalapeno shape because I don't mind big peppers. If you wanted to, you could dice them just like so in a circle. So I'm just going to add these. After the pepper, I'm going to dice my tomato. Like I said, I don't like that much tomato, but if you like more or less, it's up to you. You could even make guacamole an easier way by simply adding salsa to an avocado, because most of the ingredients in here are in homemade salsa. Personally, I just like the authentic guacamole, not mixing just an avocado with salsa. So after you cut everything, everything's ready. You're going to mix everything in the bowl. Everything should mix pretty easily after mashing up that avocado. Personally, I like my guacamole kind of chunky, so I can get enough of it on my tortilla chip. I know restaurants usually don't have it as chunky, but when you have it at home, you can make it to how you like it. So after everything is mixed, I'll show you what it looks like. Looks kind of gross, but I know it's going to taste amazing. Just looks like this in the bowl. So it is ready to serve. If you're at a party, you can just mix it right here right away, and it's ready to serve right now. Or if you want to save it for a little bit, you can put it in the fridge, but make sure it's in an airtight container, or if you have saran wrap, push it down so there's no air because it will brown faster and go bad. It'll usually stay good for about 1 to 2 days. After you notice a lot of brown in the guacamole, it's probably not good anymore and you should throw it away. So So now you are ready to serve a quick dish at a party when you didn't know that you were going or you didn't know the party was today and you had to make something fast. You can always make guacamole. Thank you.